of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
The men's basketball team is still dancing, and the Heels leave tomorrow for LA and the Sweet 16.
16 has never looked sweeter because 4 of those teams are from the ACC. Safe to say the Carolinas own March. Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Isabella Gescos.
And I'm Caroline Yaffa. Similar to many people, I watched a lot of basketball this weekend, and I know there is a definite mix of emotions from our basketball analysts Aman Patel and Daniel Masterson about these games this weekend.
The first weekend of March Madness is officially in the books, and a lot of basketball was played. There were a lot of highs.
And a lot of lows, but that is the nature of March. You never know what you're going to get.
The men's team added another chapter to the historic rivalry against Michigan State and Tom Izzo.
And the women had the unfortunate task of taking on the best team in college basketball.
But before we break anything down, guys, what happened this weekend?
The Heels faced Michigan State and Hall of Fame coach Tom Izzo for the second round of the NCAA tournament. It was a rocky start for the Heels, trailing by 12 points at one point as Michigan State maintained control within the paint. However, a 23-3 run, including shots like this three from Cormac Ryan, put the Heels ahead 40-31 at the half. While Harrison Ingram racked up points for Carolina, knocking in 5 3-pointers, Seth Trimble slowed down the Spartans with strong defense. A jumper from Armando Bacot and an RJ Davis layup attempt slammed in by Jalen Washington helped solidify an 85-69 win. And the Heels advanced to the Sweet 16 with their 6th consecutive NCAA tournament win against Michigan State.
When it comes to times like this and we go down 12, just knowing that our coaches believe in us but also are hard on us, it just makes a huge difference.
We're going to ride his back the remainder of the season, but I wouldn't want to ride anybody's back other than RJ. He's been absolutely fantastic.
For more about how the Heels were able to overcome a big first half deficit, let's go to the top of the key with our men's basketball analyst, Aman Patel. Aman.
Caroline, today feels very sweet. That was a big-time win against Michigan State. And yes, 4 of our 5 starters had double digits, but I give a lot of credit for this win to head coach Hubert Davis. This was a game that was won on the drawing board, and it started at the midway point in the first half. This was the start of a 23-3 run that Carolina went on, and I want you to keep your eyes up at the top of this screen. You're going to see Mondo set this screen for RJ Davis. But Coach Hubert Davis knows these 2 Michigan State defenders, they are going to hedge hard and deny the basketball to RJ. So instead of just looking to swing the ball elsewhere around the perimeter, he says, Mondo, go roll. He gets a head of steam and an easy look at 2 points in the bucket to start this run. But to start the run, they had a great play call, and to end the run, they had another great play call. So we'll look at it right here. Harrison Ingram, he's going to go set the screen, but he's going to ghost it. He's going to slip out to the 3-point line, and he's going to get a wide open look. Again, understanding that this defense is going to hedge down on the guards. But coaches have to make really good decisions in game and make those adjustments on the fly. You're going to see here Armando Bacot, he's going to react to the double and pass it out to the perimeter. But Coach Hubert Davis knows Tom Izzo isn't going to send that double from the same spot. He's going to change where that double's coming from. You're going to see on the next play here that the double is going to come from the baseline. This defender is going to come double Armando Bacot. So understanding that Tom Izzo is going to make that adjustment, Hubert Davis says, Jay Witt, cut down the baseline. And you're going to see it right away. Mondo recognizes it, Jay Witt recognizes it, and he gets an easy finish at the rim. This was a game that was won by coaching. All year long, we've talked about Bacot and RJ, but you have to beat Tom Izzo, you have to coach really well. And Hubert Davis, well, he was great.
Well, Aman, Alabama survived Grand Canyon last night. Who's going to need to step up for the Heels to keep them dancing?
Well, Alabama runs through Mark Sears, a 6'1 guard who averages 21.5 points a game. The Heels are going to need more of that defense from Seth Trimble that we saw against Michigan State.
Well, let's see if the Heels can dance their way to the Elite Eight. Thanks, Aman.
When watching basketball, while we all love watching a highlight reel of clutch shots and electric offense, let's not forget the importance of clamping down on the other side of the ball. In Saturday's game against Michigan State, UNC forced 11 turnovers. This strong defense allowed Carolina to go on an outstanding 23-3 run. UNC grabbed 6 blocks throughout the game, including Seth Trimble looking like Peter Pan out there, flying through the air to get 2 explosive blocks during his 18 minutes off the bench. Carolina will need to be solid on defense on Thursday again because Alabama has a high-scoring offense.
When the Tar Heels played Michigan State, they got the country's attention. Although they're the 1 seed, many fans have discredited the deep bench and standout performances. With the victory against the Spartans, the team punched a ticket to LA for the Sweet 16, and it wasn't just R.J. Davis who made that happen. Because this is one of those classic Carolina basketball moments. They went on a 15-0 run to end the first half. The Charlotte News and Observer wrote, the Tar Heels have just about everything, an energetic combo scoring and rebounder, and supporting cast that includes a player who scored 31 points against Duke. Scott Fowler is alluding to grad transfer Cormac Ryan. Seth Trimble, who's a member of the supporting cast, turned lots of heads with his monstrous block. Twitter exploded, writing Seth Trimble block party, all the Heels invited. And UNC basketball said, Seth Trimble just isn't from here. He's from another planet. Trimble and the Heels left Michigan State in shambles, and Bryce Johnson said this rivalry with Izzo runs deep. But there are still 2 games to get to Phoenix, so UNC's roster needs to lock in to survive and advance.
Late last night, Alabama beat Grand Canyon University to advance to the Sweet 16, where the Tar Heels are waiting. With a trip to the Elite 8 on the line and possibly a Caleb Love reunion, I don't know if I'd call it a reunion, maybe more of a revenge game. Caroline, what do you think?
I mean, Bella, I hate to say it, but Arizona is bringing the heat. They averaged 87.6 points per game as a team, and the Pac-12 Player of the Year, which is Caleb Love, he just hasn't slowed down in March. What UNC really needs to do is they need to bring their fast-paced transition pace to the game. If they play them, and if they beat Alabama, they just can't let Arizona dictate their speed.
Caleb Love shot UNC into the Final Four 2 years ago. Could he possibly shoot UNC out, Caroline?
Well, I really hope not.
Me too. That'd be not great. But we'll transition over to the UNC women's team. The Lady Heels earned an 8th seed in the NCAA tournament and faced off with the 9th seed Michigan State Spartans in the first round for the opportunity to take on the #1 team. The Tar Heels were strong from the tip. Maria Gakden and Alyssa Usby led the team in scoring with shots like this drive from Gakden and forced the Spartans into a 4-minute scoring drought, leading to a halftime score of 37-25 North Carolina. In the fourth quarter, MSU began to fight back, cutting UNC's lead to just 1 point. With only 5.4 seconds to go, Deja Kelly missed the foul shot, but got the rebound and got fouled again. At the free throw line, Kelly made the first shot to bring the lead to 3 before Alyssa Usby snagged another offensive rebound, which clinched the victory for Carolina 59-56. Taking on the #1 overall seed, South Carolina, in Columbia, the Gamecocks jumped out to an early lead thanks to strong defensive efforts, turning easy offense against the Heels. South Carolina kept its foot on the gas all game as they cruised to an easy 47-point victory, ending the Heels' tumultuous season and sending them packing with a final score of 88-41. I don't know if anyone wants to relive that game, but to find out what went into one of the most lopsided losses in program history, let's go to our women's basketball analyst, Daniel Masterson, to explain the carnage. Daniel.
Bella, sometimes in sports, you're just simply overmatched against your opponent. Yesterday was one of those days for Carolina, with the best team in women's basketball laying an absolute beatdown on them. South Carolina attacked the Heels right away. They shot out to a big lead, and they never looked back on their way to a 47-point victory, and it's really just because the Gamecocks, they were the aggressors early. Offensive rebounding has been a huge issue for the Tar Heels all season long. They're going to actually play some good defense here. It's a pick and roll. That is a good contest on that pull-up jumper, but you have to end possessions with a rebound. No one boxes out. She gets her own miss, misses again, and no one's boxing out right there on the backside. She grabs that and puts up an easy layup for a really easy bucket for South Carolina. And then when South Carolina was on defense, they used that defense as an aggressor. You got to be locked in on both sides of the ball playing South Carolina. Deja Kelly here, she's not. That's an easy rip. It's a pickpocket. And now South Carolina has all this open court to work with as she goes coast to coast for another easy bucket. And once you get those buckets inside, then you go outside. This is an easy play here. It's just a dump off into the post. And watch Alyssa Usby here. She's guarding number 5 out on the wing, and she cannot be in the paint there. That's one of South Carolina's shooters. As this cross-court pass gets thrown over, she catches it in rhythm, fires off a 3, and that's going to make it 18-8. And South Carolina never looked back. They never led by less than double digits at that point. There's no shame losing to South Carolina. Literally every other team they've played this year has suffered that same fate. But to lose in that fashion, without even putting up much of a fight, is going to leave a sour taste in the mouths of Carolina fans. But honestly, that's just the story of this season's iteration of the Tar Heels. Bella?
Daniel, what does the future hold for this Carolina team?
Yeah, I think this team is left with more questions than answers, honestly. Deja Kelly could come back. She's got another year of eligibility, but it seems like one foot might be out the door. But the Heels are also getting 4 guards back from injury next season, like Paulina Paris and Kayla McPherson. But what I really want is I want Coach Banghart in Carolina to hit the transfer portal hard. They need a solid big, and they really need a point-of-attack wing defender and shooter. Those are the biggest holes I see on that roster right now.
Thanks, Daniel.
After losing just their second series of the season at Miami last weekend, the Diamond Heels look to get back on track as they return to the Bosch for a conference matchup against Georgia Tech. After giving up 2 runs early, it was Alberto Osuna poking one up the third baseline that brought in the game's tying run. Osuna would score after Alex Madera dropped one into shallow center field, giving the Tar Heels a 3-2 lead. The following inning, it was Casey let him cook with a deep drive into right field that extended the Heels' lead to 3. Matthew Matias would earn the victory on the mound, giving up just 1 hit in 4 innings pitched. The Yellow Jackets made things interesting in the 9th, but the Heels would hold off the late rally to secure a 5-4 win.
In Game 2 of the series, the Diamond Heels found themselves down a run in the 3rd until Vance Honeycutt jacked this 2-run homer to left field, putting Carolina ahead 2-1. Honeycutt continued his hot day at the plate with his RBI double, extending the Tar Heel lead 4-2. Following a big 5th inning from the Yellow Jackets, the Diamond Heels jumped back in front with this 2-run double from Parks Harbor. Harbor continued his destruction in the 8th, mashing this 3-run bomb over right center field to extend the Tar Heel lead 11-5, securing the series win, or this game win for Carolina.
UNC finished the sweep on Sunday. Osuna got the scoring started with a two RBI double to left field in the bottom of the 1st inning. In the 4th, Harbor and Stevenson hit back-to-back solo homers to put the Tar Heels up 5-1. 4 runs at the bottom of the 6th inning, including a 3-run drill to left center field from Honeycutt, sealed the deal for the Heels and sent Georgia Tech packing 9-2.
Speaking of the Diamond Heels, reporter Danny Hart gives us a closer look at one player who landed a spot on both Coach Brown's and Coach Forbes' roster.
Awarded ESPN SportsCenter top play for throwing out a runner at home during the 2017 Little League Southeast Regional against Georgia, helping Sandy Creek to the state football championship in 2022, a 4-year letterman in football and baseball. These are just a few of the accomplishments that allowed Caleb Kost to sign as a D1 dual sport athlete at UNC. As a defensive back in football, Kost has shown time and time again his great timing and good instincts. But student assistant coach Landon Elliott believes the key to Kost's success is his willingness to be aggressive on the field.
What I love most about Caleb, though, is his will. Most DBs, most corners really don't want to come down and hit someone on the football field. Caleb does.
Being able to translate his skills from one sport to another is crucial to Kost.
Definitely my ball skills in baseball, considering I'm an outfielder, definitely helps me out on the football field, tracking balls and getting interceptions and making plays on the ball.
The fall saw Kost dedicating the majority of his time to the Bill Coleman practice facility and Keenan Stadium, but these days you can catch him at the Bosch. While Kost is a gifted athlete, there's a lot more that goes into it, according to UNC Baseball's Coach Forbes.
And naturally, he's gifted. The then the work comes in. Can you manage your time? Can you manage your academics? Are you willing to put in enough extra work to be able to do both and be good at both?
And between a game-winning home run or a game-winning pick six, there was no hesitation in Cost's answer.
Game-winning home run. Gotta say it. Only because people don't know this, but I'll probably say baseball. I would want to go further in baseball if I had the choice.
This is just the beginning for Cost. I'm Danny Hart, reporting.
You can see Cost in action at the Bosch tomorrow at 6 p.m.
UNC softball kicked off home ACC play on Friday afternoon at Anderson Stadium against Georgia Tech. The Tar Heels scored 4 in the first, but Georgia Tech answered quickly with a 2-run blast by Sarah Beth Allen to bring the Yellow Jackets within 1. After scoreless 4th and 5th frames, Kenna Ray Dark pitched her 3rd scoreless inning in a row, highlighted by 2 strikeouts. In the bottom of the 6th, UNC bats came alive. Alex Coleman had a base hit RBI up the middle to extend the Heels' lead, and Abby Settlemeyer put the exclamation point on the game with a 3-run home run as UNC cruised to a 9-3 victory.
During the second game of the series, the Heels struggled to keep up with the Jackets. Pitcher Britton Rogers crumbled in the circle through the first 3 innings, allowing 5 runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, and 2 batters hit. The Tar Heel offense wasn't able to pick up the slack, recording only 4 hits. Although the bases were loaded twice due to walks, Carolina's bats couldn't deliver when needed, splitting the series with a loss 6-2.
Sunday's game ignited in the 4th inning as the Tar Heels found their rhythm. It was Isabella Emmerling, the powerhouse hitter, who delivered a 3-run homer, setting the stage for Carolina. But Georgia Tech fought back to put up 2 runs in the 3rd inning. However, with Abby Settlemeyer anchoring the defense, the Tar Heels refused to yield. Destiny Middleton contributed crucial hits that fueled Carolina to emerge victorious 7-2.
The UNC swim and dive team competed in the NCAA tournament in Athens, Georgia. Aranza Vasquez won another NCAA diving title in the 3-meter yesterday and the 1-meter on Thursday. Kaya Pavicevic finished 16th overall in the 200-yard breaststroke, earning her an All-American status. The women's team wrapped up its season finishing in 17th place. This weekend, a select few Carolina wrestlers headed to Kansas City to compete in the NCAA championships. On Friday, the Heels faltered with only 2 of the 5 wrestlers, 179-pounder Tyler Ishins and 141-class Lachlan McNeil, advancing in the brackets, while the others fell into the consolation bracket. The following day, McNeil upset the number 3 seed to advance to the semifinals, but due to an unspecified injury, McNeil had to medically forfeit and got 6th place.
The UNC women's lacrosse team looked to get back on track as they hosted Louisville in an ACC showdown on Saturday. The game was high scoring from the jump, but back-to-back goals from Caitlin Wurzberger helped the Heels jump in front early. Carolina started the second quarter on a run, increasing the lead to 5. Olivia Dirks was unstoppable early on, scoring 4 goals in just the first half. Kylie Motis kept the Carolina offense hot in the second half, leading the team with 5 goals on the day. A late goal from Ashley Humphrey would seal an 18-12 UNC win as the Heels now face the challenge of number 1 Northwestern today at Dorrance. It's March Madness, and I'm not just talking about basketball. Number 1 ranked Northwestern was just upset on the road by unranked Penn State. And you know what that tells us? Anything can happen. Let's take this inside the crease with Caroline Routh to see exactly how the number 12 Tar Heels can keep the Wildcats down. Caroline?
Caroline, lacrosse is a game of momentum. Penn State came out hot in the opening quarter. Here, we're going to see them look to drive the ball in. But Northwestern, they've got some good defense. They pass the ball out to Leah Marshall. Now, if you look right here, you'll see the Wildcats are doing a really good job marking up on the Lions. But Leah Marshall, she's going to take that 1v1, and she's going to rip the ball in before the crash gets there. Now, that's something the Heels need to be aware of. Off-ball movement is crucial to occupy the defense, and shots must come before the crash. But that style of attack isn't new to UNC. On Saturday, we saw just that with Darcy Felter. Over here, Ashley Humphrey's going to have the ball back at X, and we're going to see Kylie Motis and Caroline Godin. They're going to clear some space and get their defenders to really pay attention to that. That allows Darcy Felter to come in, rip the ball in from the 8 before defense even realizes what's going on. Now, going back to the Northwestern game, the Nittany Lions also had success in the second half, coming out strong and scoring the first goal of the half with a nice, easy crease roll. Now, if there's one thing we know about Carolina lacrosse, it's that senior attacker Caitlin Wurzberger loves that low attack position. She's comfortable in the crease and has a 37-game point streak, which she'll need to extend with crease roll goals like that if the Heels want to top the Wildcats. It's the #1 ranked team, but a hot start could give the Heels the momentum they need to get it done. Caroline?
We have to remember that Northwestern has one of the best attack units in the country. What will the Heels have to do to hold them defensively?
Izzy Skane is a threat from every angle. She averages 4 goals a game, and Madison Taylor, the sophomore, can dish out the assist and get the ball in the back of the net. The Heels will need defensive discipline to stay tight on these two. These are 2 storied lacrosse programs, and this clash is one you won't want to miss.
Well, Caroline, let's see if the women's lacrosse team can bring a Cinderella-style performance to this matchup against the top team in the country. Thanks.
This one was painful. The UNC men's lacrosse team faced off against High Point University Saturday afternoon. The Tar Heels jumped out to a 5-1 start with 5 different goal scorers doing damage for Carolina in the opening quarter. That momentum continued into the second. UNC's Owen Duffy was quick to score after the half with this straight shot goal only 39 seconds into the fourth. High Point came out with back-to-back goals and didn't stop there. While the Panthers continued to find the back of the net, scoring 7 straight, the Heels fell apart. Unable to score in the fourth, and this goal by High Point's Jackson Sawyer put the nail in the coffin with 22 seconds left. The Heels took the loss 12-11.
The defending national champion women's tennis team faced stiff competition in a weekend doubleheader. First up, the Wolfies of NC State. Carolina jumped out to an early lead, taking the doubles point off of wins from Fiona Crawley and Carson Tangeleg and Abby Forbes and Riley Tran. However, the tide turned in singles play, where the Wolfpack won 4 crucial matches to take the matchup 4-3 for the Heels' second loss to state this season. Facing the Demon Deacons for their second matchup of the weekend, the Heels were unstoppable. In doubles action, Annika Yarlagata and Elizabeth Scotti earned a 6-3 win, picking up the point advantage. This momentum rolled over to singles play as Taya Rabman and Carson Tangeleg claimed Carolina's second and third points. The Heels ended the day with a 4-0 win.
The UNC men's tennis team faced Boston College Sunday morning. After Carolina won the doubles point, Cara Poling dominated, grabbing the first singles win 6-0, 6-3. Freshman Patrick Schoen won a crucial match, and Carolina defeated Boston College 7-0 and will host Notre Dame on Friday. The UNC Gym Heels traveled to Greensboro, hoping to secure a big win in the inaugural ACC Gymnastics Championship. The Heels got off to a speedy start on floor, highlighted by Kaya Forbes' 9.875 and Julia Nower's electric 9.9. Gwen Fink started UNC off strong with a stuck 9.8. Young Chero full. Kaya Forbes anchored with another clean 9.8, and the Tar Heels flew into an awesome bar rotation, led by Isabel Schaefer's 9.925 and Lali Dekanoides' 9.95. UNC finished off a strong balance beam with Jessica Najiro scoring a best 9.875, helping the Tar Heels finish to a 3rd place.
UNC track and field raced over to Elon to compete in the Phoenix Invitational to launch their outdoor season. The Tar Heels dominated the field events, securing 6 victories and numerous top finishes. Notable victories include first-year Spencer Young and Sam Romerhouse's debut wins in javelin and hammer throw, and Peyton Berryman and Jack DeFrancesco's first-place finish in both women's and men's pole vault. Carolina will be back on track Thursday at the Raleigh Relays. Team USA Field Hockey played in the Pan Am Cup in Canada, and 3 Heels shined in the gold medal match against Argentina Friday night. Aaron Matson gave the Team USA the first goal of the evening, but Argentina kept it close, forcing an overtime shootout where both Aaron Matson and Riley Heck nailed their shots to give USA the 3-2 shootout victory and indoor Pan American Championship title.
This month marked the 2024 National Women's Soccer League season kickoff. 9 Tar Heels claimed their spots on the field, including rookie Allie Sentnor. Sentnor went as the first overall pick by the Utah Royals in the 2024 NWSL draft. During the Royals match against the Courage on Friday, Sentnor made her name known. In the 30th minute, she controls the ball across the field and shoots an absolute rocket from the left corner, catching the back of the goal. This 18-yard shot tracks as her first goal in the National League. Royals win 2-1. Carolina volleyball matched up against the Durham Blue Devils in their first match of the spring season. UNC dropped the first set but pushed back in the second with monster kills from sophomore Safi Hampton. The Heels formed a wall along the net, led by redshirt sophomore Chelsea Thorpe and grad student Amani Foster, shutting down the Devils' chances of getting a clean kill. Sophomore Zoe Bernhardt kept Duke on their heels with ace after ace. The energy from the midseason transfers could be what the Heels need to have a fresh start. Carolina ended the match 2-2 and will take on NC State on April 6th.
Campus Recreation has an extensive list of ways to get involved in physical health. One student took it upon herself to play and work for athletics here. Jordan Gooch tells us how she does it.
Although she was recruited in her junior year of high school, sophomore Kyla McGee took a path she didn't expect when she pursued a different role in sports.
Junior year during COVID, that's when I really had to make the decision of, do I want to continue the recruiting process or do I want to kind of take a step back, get ready for applications? And I knew I've always wanted to come to Carolina. I wanted to do journalism here.
Putting her professional basketball dreams aside, her family and friends, including current UNC women's basketball players she grew up with, fully supported her in choosing a different route.
Having them around me, knowing that our friendship is more than basketball. My parents, I'm more than a basketball player.
She began working at Go Heels, a production company that covers all UNC athletics, where she found a way to work for sports while they work for her.
I think it's really cool because we're all students, but we also get that hands-on experience.
Attending the Husband School and working at Go Heels, McGee realized it's not just club basketball that she loves, but it's sports in general.
Go Heels really opened my eyes to like the smaller sports, so like field hockey, lacrosse. I love getting to tell other people's stories in a way that everybody else can understand.
McGee says competing at such a high level has given her transferable skills for her career in journalism.
Still play basketball, but I can still work on my leadership skills, my people skills, and I guess my basketball skills too. You got to work on the basketball skills. There's endless opportunities here, whether that's club basketball or for journalism and media.
I'm Jordan Gooch, reporting.
We can't wait to see the amazing things Kyla does with her time at Hussman and UNC club basketball.
The madness continues with our 2 insane plays of the week by 2 programs UNC is known for, field hockey and men's basketball. I think you can guess which plays we're talking about. First up, we have the woman who can do it all, our coach, Aaron Matson, shooting the game-winning shot for Team USA. Look at her stroke, but even more, look at the celebration. Just another win to add to Matson's already lengthy resume. Then we have 6'3" Seth Trimble denying the 6'9" Michigan State's Jackson Kohler at the rim. Look at that height. Trimble has a 43+ inch vertical. That's 3.5 feet. Visual, that is about right here on me, right here. That is insane. Yafa, can you get that high?
Wait, I definitely can. I could barely get a feet off the ground. But Bella, I know for a fact that with Seth Trimble being able to do that, being 6'3", he can really jump high, and that's great for UNC defense.
We're gonna need all that athleticism when it comes to Alabama, and maybe a lesson or two for us, right?
Definitely. I mean, I'd love to play on the club basketball team. That'd be pretty good. And if I could jump as high as Seth Trimble, I'd be pretty good on the court.
We'll definitely get some spots if that's the case. That does it for this edition of Sports Extra. Have a great break, and we'll be back on Monday with all the highlights from another exciting weekend of Carolina athletics.